friends, welcome back to my channel. LaKeya here once again after, I don't know, what's it been? Where are we in August now? It's been about 6 months since I've posted a full-length video. But I felt like I was getting redundant and a little uninspired, even though I had all these ideas about the videos that I wanted to post, but I don't know. Something with my brain just wasn't clicking, and I'm trying to do other things. And also I felt like my talents were more in the visual space than they were in the video filming space. So I have been primarily over on Instagram posting book related content. So if you are not following me on Instagram, I would highly suggest you go over there if you want to see what I've been reading, what I've been up to in this beautiful reading space that I have been in. It has been, wow, an interesting and beautiful experience in the Black romance indie book space, especially on Instagram. I think I am titling this Chill and Chat, and we're just going to be chatting about the books that I have been reading, or some of my favorites of the year so far for 2025. And I have read quite a bit. Probably not as much as I would have liked to read, but it's a pretty hefty list, in my opinion. And these are just my favorites. This is not even everything that I've read so far this year. This is just the stuff that really stuck with me. So let's just get right into it and stop rambling, right? So let's get to it. I am going to start with the standalone books that were standouts to me this year. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. And I'm looking down because I have my iPad sitting here in front of me with the list of books so that I don't get sidetracked, because I know me, I'm already rambling. So let's get into it. So first up, and of course, I get a phone call. I knew this was gonna happen. I will be right back. Yeah, so I'm coming to you from the editing nook. Forgot to turn my mic back on after that phone call, so I'm rambling here about a lot of something that I cannot remember. So yeah, we'll get back into it. And it probably switched over and sounded real crazy just now. Lord, one of these days I'm gonna have my life together. I promise. Okay. I'm so thrown off right now. I really hope the sound is okay. It's such a mess. See, this is probably why I stopped filming YouTube videos, because it's always some kind of chaos. But anyway, like I was saying, I'm going to assume that everything that I mentioned here is 5 stars, a 5-star rating for me. And if it's not, I will definitely correct myself on the screen, because I will be putting up the stories as I talk about them. I will not be talking about them in great detail because there are a lot of books to get through, and I am not trying to have this be an hour-long video. So first we're going to start off with, why do I keep saying beautiful so weirdly? Beautiful Broken Love by excuse me, by Shanora Williams. This is, I believe, a contemporary romance. It's a contemporary romance. It's women's fiction. It's a very beautiful and kind of a little heartbreaking story. The female protagonist is going through a thing, and grief, definitely grief. It's definitely grief. It was so beautifully written, and one of those stories that just grabs you right from the beginning and it's still holding on. It still has me in its grips to this day. I have no complaints. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, that was a 5-star read. All the stories that I mentioned, per usual, will be on my blog. All of them are on my blog. I will have the link in the description for you to check out my full thoughts on all of these stories. So let's keep moving. The next one I read in February for Valentine's Day. It is called I'll Be Yours. Aisle as in like an aisle at the grocery store. by Nina High. Did I say who? Yeah, I did say who the first one was, by Nina High. This was my first, this was the first story I ever read anything by Nina High. And I was so, like, it was so funny and sweet. I loved it so much. Definitely a must read, whether it's Valentine's Day or not. It's Valentine's Day themed, but read it anytime. Read whatever you want, whenever you want. Don't let nobody tell you anything else. But yes, that was a Valentine's Day novella. But yes, that was a very funny, cute, beautiful story as well. All right, next up is, how do I want to describe these two? The first one is called Sunshine and Rain, an Onyx City Love Story by Kay Shanae. It was so cute. It was such a cute story. Was she running from her ex? I don't remember if she was running from her ex or not, but she was, I think she definitely was running from her ex. Rain moves to Onyx City from, I believe, Chicago. Yeah, from Chicago. She's a hairstylist. She was living in, I don't know, I said I wasn't going to get into all of this, and now I feel like I am about to get into all of this. I have to mention it because it's just context. So Rain is moving from Chicago to Onyx City for a fresh start. Her ex will not leave her alone. She just wants a fresh start, so she moves to Onyx City to work at her aunt's salon. And she runs into Sunshine, who is a barber at a barbershop that's in the same plaza as her aunt's salon. But they don't meet at in the plaza or whatever. It doesn't matter where they met. But when they meet, it's like an instant chemistry type thing. And from there, it's a great story. It's well written. Like, Kay Shanae is one of my favorite authors. So you can't really go wrong with one of her stories. She writes very well, very engaging, always, always funny, always, there's drama, but it's not like unnecessary. Like, it's just like the plot thickens. That's hers be like the definition of the plot thickens. And that you get that the plot thickens a lot more in this next one, which is called Breeze and Melody, also by Kay Shanae. They're not technically a series, but Sunshine and Rain and Breeze and Melody are both Onyx City love stories. And Breeze is Rain's brother, who also moves to Onyx City from Chicago. And well, they all technically, Rain, Melody, and Breeze all moved from Chicago to Onyx City. But Sunshine was already there. Melody is Rain's best friend. So there you go. Oh gosh, I guess that's brother's best friend, or not brother's best friend, best friend's brother. Melody, or Breeze and Melody, is technically best friend's brother romance, but they don't really harp too much. She doesn't really harp too much on that aspect of it. But everything else that happens in Breeze and Melody is so it's so crazy from beginning to end. Like, you will not be bored or anything. Like, you could fly right through this book. It's so good. It's so captivating, so engaging. Like, you definitely have to read it. It's just so good. Okay, moving on. Next we have Truth of the Matter by Charity Shanae. I don't know if her last name is pronounced Shanae or Shane, but I'll have it up on the screen so you can see it. Truth of the Matter. I'll be honest and say I don't 100% remember the entire storyline for this one. I just know there's some angst. The male protagonist is a father. He is a single father. He has some drama with his baby moms. Truth is a beautiful young lady. The story is well written. Charity Shane or Shanae. Shane. I think it's Shane or Shanae. Shanae. I don't know. Charity, she writes, also, she's also a very good writer, very engaged, like you're very engaged with her stories. Her storylines and her characters are very well written and very emotional. And I can say the same thing for the next one that I'm going to talk about, which is Candid Moments, also by her. That one, of the two, I'm going to say Candid Moments was my favorite. It's more closer to a novel. I wouldn't say it's a novella. It's still a full-length novel, but it's definitely on the shorter side. But through and through, that is such a crazy good story. Like, I have to tell you this one, the female protagonist, and if anybody cares, I'll probably put the characters' names up on the screen when I mention the stories, but I can't think of how many books I read. I cannot remember all the character names off the top of my head, and I'm not actually looking at it. But the female protagonist, and I think it's the male. No. Yes, the male, both of the protagonists, the male and female protagonists in the story, the hero and the heroine, they're both attending their significant other's reunion, and their significant others are former classmates. And they also dated, I believe, when they were in high school. Their significant others dated each other when they were in high school. So when they get to this snowy, I think they're in Colorado, if I'm not mistaken. They end up in Colorado, somewhere where it's really snowy. They end up trapped at the hotel where the reunion is happening. They end up stuck there because of a snowstorm. I don't want to give too much of the plot away because it's just, you have to read it. You have to read it. Just think about, these two people did not come together. They came with two separate people, but somehow end up together. Just think about that. And they're stuck in this hotel. Everyone is stuck in the hotel. Nobody's able to leave. The roads are closed. You are not going anywhere. Just think about that and get into it. Definitely, please read it. It's 5 stars. 5 stars. 100%. Moving on. Okay. Next, we have another one of my, or two, it's technically two of my favorite authors. I have so many favorite authors now. It's crazy. But it's called Until the Ink Dries, which was written by Kimberly Brown and Aisha Bree. Read it, y'all. Anything I'm mentioning, please read it. Just read it. 5 stars. Obviously, somebody is a tattoo artist. The male protagonist is a tattoo artist. The female protagonist is visiting from out of town, deciding about her career path, trying to figure herself out. I'm trying to remember if they knew each other before she moved back. So her parents live wherever she's visiting and wherever he's living. Also, lots of drama with the male protagonist's child's mother, girlfriend, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Let me tell you, that one was crazy. That one was crazy good. 5 stars. Read it. Next up, we have another new to me author, A. Blossom. Excuse me. This one is called Unexpected Pass, and this was a sports romance. I'm trying to remember. Oh, this was good. See, right now, like as I'm talking about it and rethinking or revisiting what these stories were about, like I'm just remembering how good they were. With the male protagonist, the hero of the story is obviously a football player, who meets the lovely leading lady at she attends his football game with someone else. She has no clue who he is. Like she knows vaguely of the team and like who's on the team, but she's not really a sports girly. She's not a football girly, so she doesn't really know who's who for real. And so this guy that I think her mom sets her up with someone. Excuse me, my throat is like, and I don't think drinking coffee is the best idea for my throat, but I have to interrupt this program to show you guys, I know it's picking up on my face, to show you guys this beautiful mug that I got from the lovely and talented CCJ. It's cold coffee, but I'm still drinking it. That's my favorite mug to drink out of. And yes, I did have it covered because it's summertime and fruit flies are everywhere. Anywho, what was I saying? Oh yes, I was talking about unexpected. I was talking about unexpected past before my throat was ready to give out on me. I don't talk this much, even though it seems like I do because I ramble a lot, but on a daily basis, I do not talk this much, so my throat is really mad at me. And I also have water, which is what I probably should have picked up in the first place. Excuse me. Anyway, unexpected past. Where was I with that? Yep, so she goes to the football game, and there's an after party with the guy that her mom set her up with. And I am getting close to 18 minutes right now. I said I wasn't going to ramble on about these books. All right. Long story short, she meets, I don't know what his name is. I don't know what anybody's name is, but she meets the male protagonist at the after party. He doesn't realize who he is at first. They end up, I'm not gonna have like, I don't want to give away the storyline, guys. I don't want to give away the plot. Stop making me talk about it. Just read the book, please. These are just recommendations. Next we have Wrapped in Heat, and I think it's always a gift for me personally anyway. It's always a gift when I get a story from Tay Russ because she's literally in my top 5. And I love her writing so much. Okay, I'm gonna stop being dramatic, but yeah. Wrapped in Heat. Oh my God, what I love so much about this one was that it was set in Alaska, okay? A predominantly black town. It's fictional, but still living for it. Even like if it's, I mean, you never know. There might be some predominantly black towns in Alaska. You just never know, you know? So I'm here for it, for real. It was a old friends to lovers story, and it was really good. So, and it was also a shorter one. It's a novella, so it's a quick read. Highly recommend it. Is my lighting changing? I feel like the lighting in here is changing for some reason. Or maybe I'm going crazy. I don't know. Next. Okay. Now, if you're into very emotional grief, I don't want to say grief driven, but both the male and female protagonists in this next story are dealing with grief very heavily. So that's a trigger warning. If you're somebody who's dealing with grief, I would proceed with caution when reading, and then everything changed. But I really wanted to recommend this story because it was so different. Like, I mean, maybe not, it's unique in its own right, I think, because it deals with grief in a way that not many stories do, because I feel like a lot of romance stories, if there is grief involved, they kind of move past it a little quickly, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love a lot of stories that deal with grief in a very sensitive and delicate way, and most black romance indie authors that I've read personally, they really do take into account their readers' experience in that way. But this one, I loved it because it wasn't like quick to moving past the grief. Like, they're literally working through their grief with each, like, side by side. It's challenging. Like it shows you the challenge of trying to move through grief, especially when you lose your significant other, because both of them have lost their significant other, and they're both dealing with it in very different ways, but somehow together they manage to find space for each other and find space for themselves to grieve, but also kind of move forward. It's just very beautiful. I highly recommend it for sure. Okay, now that I've talked extensively about that, another one that I'm grateful whenever she writes something, I am all over it, because it's so rare these days to see something from her, And that's not a complaint because there are so many authors in this space now that are writing constantly, and there's always new authors coming about writing very great stories. So it's no complaint that I have to wait on her, because I will wait as long as I have to get even a little bite of something from her. So with that being said, The Off Season by Alexandra Warren, another one of my top 5 authors. Get into it. It's a mini, and it's highly recommended that you read her other books in the Skyhawk series, because the characters in this mini story are mentioned in both, or was it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're mentioned in both. They're mentioned in both the first and second book, and I'll put the whole series on the screen. But I believe this can be also read as a standalone if that's what you want to do. I wouldn't recommend you do that. I would recommend reading the whole series, but technically I think you can read it as a standalone. Okay, and next up we have Lucid Dreams. This is urban romance, okay? Love her down. Lady Nisha is, I can't even describe how great, how amazing she is at writing urban romance. It's like funny, gritty, emotional, chaotic. It's so, any of her books, but Lucid Dreams, next level. Loved it. It was so chaotic. It was so chaotic, but so good. Highly recommend it. Okay, next up and last, but not least, we have When 40 Blooms by Jacinta Howard. This is another author that I haven't read, or I think she hasn't written anything in a very long time. A lot of people were very excited to have her back in this space. She took some time off from writing, I think, or at least writing in romances. I believe she writes other things, like kind of like journalism. I don't know. I sound like very uneducated right now, but I believe she's also a journalist, so I'm sure she's writing other things. But this is the first story in a while that we've seen from her. So, yes, When 40 Blooms. I loved this story because it dealt with later in life love, and I related very deeply with the female protagonist, because the story is only told from her perspective, and so you get a very intimate look into like her thought process going through what she's going through. And she's just turning 40, and the whole book is about her, kind of not about her turning 40, but like her experiences throughout her life up until like now she's turning 40 and trying to reconcile a lot of things in her life. But I related to her so deeply. I'm not 40, but I could definitely relate with a lot of her traumas that she experienced with her parents, parental and sibling dynamic. Like, it's just, I get it. I got it on a crazy deep level, and that's why I loved it. And I really love the later in life stories because it gives me hope. It gives me a great hope. It really does. I'll just leave it at that. Okay, so that wraps up my standalone portion of this video. So now we are moving into my favorite series thus far. We are starting off with the Dillinger series by Kimberly Brown. I have no idea how many books we are in. We had Maceo, we had Deuce, we had, I skipped one. Deuce was first, then Maceo, then Smoke, I believe, and Jada. If I miss one, y'all already know I'm gonna have it on the screen. We're not done yet with the series, but thus far, I want to call them urban romance. Yeah. It's more like, okay, we'll call it urban romance. I don't know. My favorite so far of the series though is Jada, because it's less shoot 'em up, I guess. I don't know. I'm just saying things now. But it was more adorable and cute than murder in this one. Not that there wasn't murder, because there's murder in all of them, but yeah, this one, I guess I could relate more to the couple in this story because they're both nerds and I'm a nerd, so I loved it. I loved it so much. Their meet cute, duh, it's called a meet cute for a reason. Her brother's reaction, crazy. Her brothers are crazy. I mean, we already knew that, but if you've read the series, you know. But yeah, I think Jada was my favorite book so far, but I'm excited to see what else is to come for that one. Next up, we have the Three Kings series by A.E. Valdez. And my God, today. A.E. Valdez is such a beautiful writer. It just, like, I'm an aspiring writer. I am in the process of writing my own book. I've been writing this book for like 6 years and I don't even want to talk about it. But I just get so, I don't want to say discouraged. It's not discouragement. I actually get inspired, and maybe that's the thing. I get too inspired by how well certain authors write that I'm like, I want to write, like, I want to be able to move people like this when I write. Like, I want it to mean something, and that's what I get when I read A.E. Valdez's stories. And it's, y'all see, I got broken. Anyway, we're not going to focus on that. But yes, read the series. I think she has two series. I was torn between choosing them both or choosing one or the other, but if I had to choose one, it would definitely be the Three Kings series for sure, because that's the one that I actually started, and I believe she was a new to me author this year too as well. And I'm like, where have I been? And where has she been all my life? Because her stories are amazing. Moving on, we have, technically this series has been around for years, but the most recent book was released this year, so I'm including it in this list. It is the Mason Family series by Ashley Nicole. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know Ashley Nicole is in my top 5 as well. I don't know how many authors I've mentioned in my top 5 so far. It might be more than 5 that I've mentioned, but she's definitely in my top 5. And the book that was released this year was And One for Me. This one was about is she the only female? Yep, she's the only female Mason of the cousins. Taylor. I was so excited to get to read Taylor's story because I've been waiting for her to get to Taylor. Not disappointed one bit. Read it, please. If you haven't read that series, there's like, oh my God. Well, there's 30 cousins in the Mason cousins, but there's not 30 books yet, but there are plenty of books. I think this was book 10, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't even say on the book cover, but I'm pretty sure this was book 10. So there's 10 books in the series, plenty for you to read. They're all very good, very entertaining, so funny. Ashley Nicole is so good with comedy. It's not even funny how good she is at the comedy, okay? Read it. Next week, I didn't realize I had that on here. I mean, I put it down in my series section. Technically, there's only one book so far, but the book was just that good that I had to put it in here. So it was The Unfortunate series by Joan Vassar. So far, there's only Unfortunately Francine. This was such a confounding book for me because it involves the male main character kidnapping the female main character. So it's very unconventional, but as you read the book, it just opens up so many other things. Hold on, my camera is a little crooked. It just opened up so many other things. It makes you empathize with the kidnapper, which is crazy. And I think it takes an incredible writer to take you there from beginning to end. It's a crazy good story. And it's not just a romance story. I would say most of it isn't a romance story. It's very social commentary, a lot of social commentary, and it's set in the 1990s. So yeah, definitely get into that one. It's very good. Next series up is the Armani Sisters series by T. Lynn. This is another author that was new to me this year, and I don't know why I keep mentioning that, because I also planned on mentioning all the new to me authors this year that are standouts to me. So at the end, I will mention them again. The Armani Sisters series was so definitely closer to urban romance for my urban romance girlies. Very good. Okay, now we have the Recipe for Love series. This is various authors. Did I say? Yeah, I did say who the last one was. Various authors in this series. It is a Valentine's series that I'm still trying to get through because there's so many books. And that's a thing for me about these series that have multiple authors. There's usually tons of authors, so there's tons of books in the series, and trying to get through them all is a task. Like, I'll be reading this series through for the rest of the year, because I'm not just reading that series, I'm reading other books too. Breathe. So yeah, it's like they're all can I even call them novellas? They're kind of, some of them are novella and some of them are kind of like novelette length. So they're quick reads. There's just a lot of them and they're very good. So I would definitely recommend that series. Still, even past Valentine's Day. Like I said, you can read whatever you want, whenever you want. Next up, we have the Complicated series by Love Belvin. Enough said. Love Belvin. Like, I really don't have to say anything else. I think, right? Am I right or am I wrong? Get into it. Period. Last but not least, we have the Teachers of Hardwood High. I have not gotten through all of these yet either, but just from the first two, baby girl, I'm hooked. Okay, I'm hooked. Especially the first one was so cute. But that is it for my series. You see, I tried to zip through those since I took so long getting through the standalones. So now I am going to mention the new to me authors that were standouts for me for 2025. As I mentioned before, A.E. Valdez, T. Lynn, Nina High, Shinora Williams, and several authors from the Recipe for Love, Recipe for Love series. M.L. Bash, Kennedy B, Jen L, Morgan Rose, Renee Wolfe, and Tisha Reed. And I believe that is all I have for that portion of my video. So now I am going to take a few minutes or more. You know me, it'll probably be like 10 or 20 minutes that I'll have to cut down. But see, I'm already rambling now. Okay. I'm going to take this portion of the video to talk about my first experience at a book, volunteering at a book event. So the event that I participated in was Behind the Pen, brought to us by Sister Girls Book Club. Child, I've been working this fan down to the bone, okay? So cute. Hopefully you guys can see that and it's not still picking up on my face. But yes, Sister Girls Book Club put on another event. I believe Cherie said this was their 4th event. They have it every other year. Behind the Pen is a book signing for, there goes my voice again. Give me a moment. Okay, so it is a book event that is held in, well, as of the past 4 events has been held in New York City. It is a lovely opportunity for Black romance, indie book authors to connect with their readers, readers to connect with their favorite authors and have their books signed. This was my first time attending, first time volunteering, anything at all. I only recently, maybe, what are we in, 2025? Recently started reading independent. I've mentioned it before, probably around 2018. So I've been pretty deep in the Black romance indie book space, at least reading, since about 2018. And this, I think this year, 2024, 2023, something like that, is when I started getting into the actual space online. Like, Instagram is the primary place where I make content, search content, connect with other creators in the book space. Okay, so Behind the Pen was the first time, my first ever book event out in the real world. We'll put it that way. Being out in the real world and getting to see what it's like up close, to be a part of the book space in person. My first experience volunteering was overwhelming. I keep saying it was overwhelming, but so rewarding. Overwhelming because I am heavily an introvert. I hardly leave the house. I am a homebody to the core. So being in such a space was overwhelming for me, for my nervous system. Not in any fault to anyone but my nervous system, okay? Because being around so many people is a little chaotic for me, and personally, like I said, because I am introverted, and I my energy gets depleted very quickly. But I really wanted to step outside of my comfort zone and do something different. My throat is so mad at me right now. Like, if I have a voice by the end of this, I will be amazed. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I'm so not used to talking a lot or interacting with tons of people on a daily basis. Like, I just don't. So this is what I get. Anyway, staying on track. I'm trying to stay on track. A long story short, it was such, I don't even know how to even say it. From the executive team to my fellow volunteers, everyone was very warm, welcoming. It was such a collaborative experience. The event was it was so crazy. Like, I showed up for, the volunteers, we show up before the event starts, and there were people already lined up outside the building. That was insane to me. I'm like, is this normal? I'm like, is this what this usually happens? But when I got upstairs, everybody was just as amazed as I was. Like, they've been here since 6 o'clock in the morning, and the event didn't start till 12. So I was just like, wow, that's how you know we've come a crazy long way in the Black indie book space, because that is, even the people who organized the event were like, this is unprecedented. This has never happened before. We've never had this many people. So, and they've never been lined up that early. So it was crazy. And I love it. I love that energy that we have for our Black authors now. Like, it's just so incredible. And I was just, and still am, very grateful and thankful that I had the opportunity to be a part of it, and to meet a few of my favorite authors, and to be able to contribute to making sure the event went as well as it could with the unexpected amount of people that showed up. It was just incredible. So I don't have any complaints, except for I was mad at my own body for not being able to hold up to what I wanted to do. Like, my brain has an idea of what I want to do, but my body, I have to listen to my body. And when it tells me, girl, you need to go sit down somewhere, So I listen to my body whenever it tells me that. So, and not many people understand that. And what can you do? Like, I know my body. You don't know you don't live in my body, so you can't possibly understand. So you just got to do what's best for you. Anyway, overall, it was so good. It was such a good experience. And I got a few little goodies that I want to show you guys. Just a few things at the end of the event. I believe that is I'm pretty sure that's a bookmark. That's a bookmark right there. What does it say? Reading is my jam. Love that. And another bookmark. Hopefully you guys can see that. Yes, I know this camera likes to pick up on my face. This, I'm scared to put up to the camera because it has a QR code. Oh, this is an author. Okay, I don't think she was there though. But we have some marketing for an author. She has a book menu in the back here. I think that's cool if you want to screenshot and check her out. I believe this is a sticker. I was like so sure this was a magnet, but I'm pretty sure that's a sticker. That's a very quality sticker right there. Quality sticker. Love that. And it was just a little packet. I have not opened this for some reason, but there's another, I think this is another author who had probably some of her merch or some of her marketing stuff in the gift bags that were given away to the VIP peoples. And there's a lollipop in there, so I appreciate that. I think that was it. And I got a couple of books too for from that little grab situation. If I can remember to, I'll put it up on the screen because I don't have them in front of me right now. I know one of them was Always a Baker or something like that by B. Love, and then there was an anthology, a poem anthology, a book of poems that I also collected. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling now. I'm praying that this video is not too long. Once again, guys, if you want to keep up with me for real, come on over to Instagram because I post there every week, at least twice a week. Sometimes I throw in some bonus stuff. I actually have 2 Instagrams now because I have one for my blog and one just for me that I like to do different things on. So I'll link them both in the description. Also, if you want to subscribe to my blog to get updates on my book reviews as they come, you can do that. All information will be down below. I'm debating whether I want to list all the books. Yeah, you know I'm going to do it anyway. Or maybe I'll just, well, if you check out the blog, you can get a link to each of the books that I mentioned here because I have written reviews on my blog for all of the books that I mentioned. If you've enjoyed your time here, I highly recommend that you subscribe. I should be back sometime soon. I don't know. I try to post there as much as I can, but all of the mishaps that happen even during this taping, it reminds me every time why I don't really sit down and do long form videos that often. But I will try to come back over here more often as I can. But like I said, if you want to come on over to Instagram, I'm on there way more often than I'm on YouTube filming or posting anything on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you all next time. Peace. The microphone is making my shirt sag. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you all next time.